Hello, I'm Barbara Levan from Toby's Fund for Women's Health and McHenry County Citizens for Choice. Sandee has the genetic disorder neurofibromatosis, and she has an interesting story about her reproductive choice. Here it is.
Hi, my name is Sandee, and I'm going to tell you my story. 40 years ago, when I was going to get married, I had to make a difficult decision. I have NF, and it's an inherited disease that has many manifestations. My fiance at the time, and I went for genetic counseling, and they told us that it was a 50-50 chance that a child of ours would have NF. And even though I have been very successful and I'm college educated and professional, I knew that there were many manifestations, they said, and one of them could be developmentally disabled, along with all the other aspects of NF. And I know how difficult it was for me when I was a child, and I saw what my father went through, who also has NF, and his was a much more severe case than mine. And I said, I don't want to do that to a child. And when they told us it was a 50-50 crapshoot, that a child of ours could have NF, we really thought about it. And I knew that I personally could not have an abortion, although I am pro-choice all the way. I knew I couldn't have an abortion. So I was talking not only to my side of the family, but my mother-in-law also, who said to me, well, you can always have an abortion because they've already isolated the gene that caused NF. And I said, well, I can't. She goes, sure you can. Abortion's legal. I said, well, I personally don't think I could have an abortion, although, like I said, I'm very pro-choice. So we decided that I would have a tubal ligation, and that way wouldn't be a chance that I could become pregnant. So I went to my gynecologist at the time, and he said to me, you're too young. You're only 23. And I said, but you don't understand. I wanted to end with my generation. I don't want to have another generation that has NF. And he goes, I don't want to do it. And I said, but I want to do it. And if you won't do it, I'll find somebody else that will do it. So he hemmed and hawed, and he found an associate of his, which happened to be a woman, which is very unusual at the time. And she came in and asked me what was the problem. And I said, I want to have a tubal ligation. And she again said, but you're really young. And I said to her, but I have NF and I want it stopped. I don't want it carried on to the next generation. And the only way to do it is to have the sterilization. So she goes, so what's the problem? And I said, well, the doctor won't do it for me. And she goes, why not? And I told him again, what you said, that I'm very young and do I really want to do this? And she goes, he doesn't understand. I go, what do you mean he doesn't understand? And she goes, he's a man. He can't understand. Only a woman can understand what you're going through. And I will tell him that I will approve the tubal ligation. If he doesn't want to do it, I'll do it. So she disappeared, and maybe 5-10 minutes later, he comes back and he says, even though he really didn't understand why I wanted to do it so young, that he would do it for me. And he did. And what happened after that was we still wanted to have children. So we adopted, and we adopted our daughter Danielle from Korea, and she has been the light of our life. She's wonderful. It isn't any difference to me whether she was biological or adopted, whether she was Caucasian or Asian or black or Hispanic. It didn't matter. I just really wanted to have a child. And what has happened is that, she's been very successful. We have a terrific relationship. We couldn't be closer, whether we are biological or adopted. And to my answer to people when they say they can't have children, I always say, you can adopt. And I'm glad I made the choice because the NF in my family has stopped. And even though, like I said, I've had a good life, there's also been a lot of complications that I did not want to put on another human being. And that's my story, that even 40 years ago, it was difficult. But I'm just hoping that in the future, 40 years from now, that women will still have the choice to whether they want to have a child, whether they want to have an abortion, whether they don't want to have an abortion. It should be a matter of choice. And that's my story.